Hi, welcome to your 2023 Surveyor Legend 19 Mdble. We're going to start off in the back corner here. In the back bumper, they store your sewer hose. So right here, just take note of the two ears on here. This will connect right to your sewer outlet, and it's about 20 feet long when fully extended. Right up from there is your power cord. Just this notch lines up with this notch in the plug, 1/8 of a turn, and then you have this twist lock to really lock it in there. And then down from there, you have your standard 30 amp. Most campsites have these plugs, so you could just plug right on in. But if you are at home and you want to run the trailer for whatever reason, we include a 15 amp park adapter. Next, you have your jacks. You just want to run these down and it'll take away any of the sway or bounce you have in the unit, and it keeps it secure to the ground. Right next to that, you have right up from that, you have a coax cable for satellite. And then you have your sewer outlet. You just pop and squeeze the cap off. It's got the same two ears your sewer hose has. So it just goes right on there. Line it up with the notches on the hose, and that covers that. You're always going to want to empty your black water first, because your black water comes from your toilet. And then you can do your gray valve from your gray tank, which is your sink and shower. And right up from there, you have what's called a black tank flush. So let's say you've used the trailer a few times now and you start noticing a stench coming from the toilet. It smells like sewer. Next time you go to empty your tank, just leave your black tank open, hook a garden hose to this and turn it on, and then it'll flush out whatever debris is inside the tank. Front of the trailer here, you have your city water connection, and then you have your fresh tank water connection, which draws from your fresh tank and your water pump. Right next to that, you have your hot water heater. Before you ever go to fire your hot water heater up, you're always just going to want to give that little valve a pull, just to make sure that there's water in the tank. That way you don't burn out any elements or anything. And your drain is also at the bottom here, just this little plastic cap. The front of the trailer, you have your battery disconnect. With the battery disconnect on, the battery's connected, and with the battery disconnect off, the battery's disconnected. And next to that, this is just your signal sender for your TPMS, if you wanting to have that on. In here you have your propane. It's just your standard 20-pound barbecue propane tank. You just turn that on and it's on. And if you ever want to take it off, just this whole cover slides off the regulator once you take this screw off. You have a power tongue jack, and this little cap on the top is just the manual override. So you just turn it on, the light will come on, and up is up and down is down. Here is your front compartment. This customer's gone with the weight distribution. And then in this water hose, you have your 15 amp park adapter. And you also have all the tools and equipment to run your jacks and your override for the front tongue jack. This black rail here is for your exterior griddle and kitchen. And that's kept right inside here. Here's your barbecue with your standard propane end. It just disconnects from itself like that. There's the propane connection for the griddle is underneath the trailer, just with this little dust cap. You just pull back on the collar, kind of like an air hose, and click it on there. And then you also have your water exterior sprayer. It just has it's just got two little ends on it, and they just line up with the two ends inside the thing. You click it on and you're connected. And it's always good measure whenever you disconnect this and you're done with it for today, just to stretch it out and open it up and let out all that water so it doesn't go stale and stagnant. On the back of the trailer, you have your ladder to get to your roofs. If you ever want to take a look at your seals or any of that, you're pre-wired for a rear observation / rear view camera. And your spare tire is also located in the rear of this unit. To get inside this unit, you're always going to want to make sure the door is wide open to get the stairs up and down. When you have to put the stairs up, you just give that blue thing a slide so it locks into place, and then to bring it down, you do the same thing. Now, whenever you're running your awning, the door does come in contact with the awning. So before you run your awning, always make sure your door is at 90 degrees. That way you avoid any contact. Once you take a step on inside, right to your left is your fire extinguisher. That's just a standard fire extinguisher. You just pull the pin and shoot. You have a GFI outlet and a USB plug-in for your phone or whatever else you want it to plug into there. And up there you have all your lights. You are pre-wired for Wi-Fi. You have your slide out switch, so you just hold it out to go out. You have a porch light, which turns on that little amber light out there, and then you do have an awning LED. Now, whenever you extend your awning, you're just going to want to hit the button up to go awning extend, making sure your door is at 90 degrees. Now, keep in mind, whenever you have your awning out, if you ever come across where the winds pick up and you're getting to around 15 to 20 kilometer an hour winds, you're going to want to bring your awning in to make sure you don't bend any arms or rip the fabric. Whenever you're putting your awning out, you're always going to want it to go fully out. Once you see the back of the black tube and the flap down, that's when you know you're fully extended. If it ever starts raining or you just want to bring it lower down for better coverage, you just pull this arm back and it'll adjust the pitch of the awning and it'll bring it down. You can do the same to the other side and it brings better coverage. But whenever you bring in the awning, you're always going to want to make sure you bring this arm back to where it was so you avoid the risk of bending anything. And now whenever you bring your awning in, you're always going to want to watch it to make sure that it doesn't roll inside out, because it will trap water and whatever else inside the fabric, increasing mold and mildew. And now if you come on inside, right at the front of the unit, you have storage all above. It's all open storage. And you have your couch. Now your couch folds down and there's a little quick latch here that you just pull down, and down comes your bed. You do have a window at the front here with a shade. All the shades in this unit are just kind of pull them and they sit where you leave them. To close it up, you just pull this latch back, click it back into place, and then the couch just nicely folds back into a couch. On this wall here, you do have a fire exit. So that works. You just pull this red tab, this whole screen comes out, and you just flick this, push it on out, and out you go. You have your standard sink, hot and cold water with storage underneath. Surveyors do come with a standard bottle opener. This is a standard propane stove. Now, whenever you light the stove, you're always going to want to make sure that your vent on the outside of the trailer is open and the fan is on, evacuating all the fumes from propane. I don't have a lighter with me, but to light this, you just turn it on, turn the lights on, and you just, and there you go. Down from that, you have your, it's a standard microwave. Aside from that, it's a convection microwave. You just, that's pretty straightforward. You do have your 12-volt fridge. So this fridge will be on anytime the unit is either plugged into shore power or your tow vehicle. Your fridge will run. You do have a TV here. It is strapped in place. You could just unstrap it and it will swivel to an extent. And then behind the TV, you have your coax output, and there's a little black button to the right of the coax cable, and that activates your antenna. So if you're ever running your stereo, it does improve actually your stereo frequency for that. And then on the back left side of the trailer, you have your bunks. These bunks do come with a ladder. This ladder just clicks into these two metal slots here. And the bottom bunk has another fire exit. And then underneath your bunks, you have your converter and your fuse panel. Now you do have breakers and fuses. Whenever a breaker pops, it'll sit in the middle, so you have to turn it off and then back on to reset it. And then whenever you have a blown fuse, there will be a red LED light indicating which one's blown. Then if you take a step inside the bathroom, you do have a light switch right above your toilet. And next to the light switch, there's a switch for your fan. You just turn that up and then it'll evacuate air out of the unit. Down here we have your monitor panel. So you got your water pump, which turns on your water pump, drawing from your fresh water tank. And then you have your water heater. You can either fire it on gas or electric. If you fire it on gas, there should be a little red light that'll come on. If it doesn't fire, usually it tries about 3 or 4 times before that light will come on. If that light doesn't come on, then you either have a propane issue or another issue going on, and I would be contacting the dealership at that point. Underneath that, we have your tank heater system. So that's essentially just a pad that sticks onto the bottom of your tanks that stops, or is supposed to slow down freezing, so that if you're, extended season camping. And then you have a standard hot and cold water sink and a standard hot and cold water shower. And that's about all for this unit. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call.